When do Roth conversions make sense after retirement? It's one of the most talked about strategies for retirement planning, but it's often quite misunderstood. Now, if you've spent your whole career saving into pre-tax accounts like IRAs and 401ks, deferring the taxes until later, and just recently retired or are on the brink of retiring, you may be in the lowest tax bracket you've ever been in, and Roth conversions might be a very powerful strategy to employ if they're right for you. I'm Cary, financial advisor and co-founder of Green Era Financial, and I help people close to or in retirement to get the most out of life with their money. And today we're going to break down when Roth conversions after retirement make sense, when they don't, and how to use them strategically to reduce taxes for the rest of your life. There's a unique window between the time you stop working and the time you start collecting Social Security or required minimum distributions, typically between ages 60 and 73. During this window, your income might be lower than it's been in decades, and that gives you a powerful opportunity to take control of your tax picture. So let's look at a realistic example. Imagine a recently retired couple in their early 60s. They're not yet claiming Social Security. Their only income is from some part-time consulting work and a modest taxable brokerage account. All in, they're bringing in about $50,000 per year, let's say. That means they still have over $40,000 of headroom in the 12% federal tax bracket. So they could convert up to that amount from their traditional IRA into a Roth IRA and only pay 12% in tax. So why does this matter? Because in a few years, they'll be collecting Social Security, required minimum distributions will kick in, and if one of them passes away, the surviving spouse will be filing single, not jointly. In all of those cases, their tax rate could be higher than it is now. So this window is a sweet spot to make strategic moves while taxes are still low. So let's go over them. Roth IRAs come with some major long-term benefits. First, they have no required minimum distributions. That means you never have to take money out unless you want to. And what you do take out is tax-free. Second, Roth income doesn't count toward your modified adjusted gross income from Medicare or Social Security taxation. That means smart conversions now can help you avoid IRMA surcharges down the road and reduce how much of your Social Security ends up being taxed. So let's go back to that same couple we just talked about. If they convert $40,000 per year for 5 years while staying in the 12% bracket, they'll have moved $200,000 into a tax-free bucket. That's $200,000 they can now access in retirement without increasing their tax bill, their Medicare premiums, or how much of their Social Security gets taxed. And if they don't use it, it can be passed on to their kids who can also withdraw it tax-free within the 10-year window under the current inheritance rules. Now, of course, Roth conversions aren't a one-size-fits-all solution. If you're already in a high tax bracket, it may not make sense to convert now, especially if the taxes due would come out of your retirement savings. Likewise, if you're close to triggering a new IRMA tier or pushing more of your Social Security into the taxable column, it may be wise to hold off or convert a much smaller amount. Also, some people may have significant medical deductions or charitable contributions in the future that could reduce their tax burden. In those cases, it might be smarter to wait until those deductions kick in before doing conversions. And remember, Roth conversions are irreversible. So it's critical to look at your full financial picture, income, deductions, tax brackets, Medicare, and more before pulling the trigger. So let's say you have a couple, Jim and Linda, both recently retired at age 63. They have about $30,000 in income from a taxable brokerage account and part-time consulting work, and they're using savings to cover the rest of their expenses. They're not taking Social Security yet and have no pensions. That puts them in a very low taxable income situation for at least a few years. Now let's say they decide to convert $45,000 from their traditional IRA into a Roth IRA this year. That brings their total taxable income to $75,000, still well within the 12% federal tax bracket. They'll pay about $5,400 in federal taxes on the conversion, but they now have $45,000 growing tax-free in a Roth IRA. That balance will never be taxed again, and it reduces the amount they'll be forced to withdraw when RMDs begin later on. Over the next 5 years, they plan to do similar conversions, potentially moving $200,000 to $250,000 into Roth accounts before Social Security starts. This gives them a long-term advantage, lower RMDs more control over their taxable income in retirement, and a source of tax-free funds they can use at any time. So how do you do this well? You start with your most recent tax return. Look at your taxable income and how much room you have before you hit the next bracket. Then consider the timing. If you're about to start Social Security, that changes the math. If your spouse is older and about to hit RMD age, that changes the math. If you're selling a property or a business, that definitely changes the math. That can be a big taxable event, depending. You'll also want to think about where the tax money is coming from. Paying the tax on a Roth conversion out of pocket is ideal because it keeps more money growing inside the Roth. Now, it's often best to create a multi-year Roth conversion plan. You might do $40,000 this year, $35,000 next year, and maybe $25,000 the year after, based on what's happening in your life. The point is, it's a strategy, not a one-time move. And here's a bonus strategy for you if you're charitably inclined. You can actually combine Roth conversions with charitable planning to enhance the tax benefits. So here's an example. You might do a large Roth conversion in the same year that you donate to, let's say, a donor-advised fund. The deduction from the charitable gift can offset the income from the Roth conversion, reducing or eliminating that tax hit. Or later in retirement, you might do Roth conversions early on and then use qualified charitable distributions from your traditional IRA once RMDs kick in, allowing you to give to charity tax-free and avoid increasing your modified adjusted gross income. There's no single right answer here, but there are many smart combinations to how to employ Roth conversions strategically. So, are Roth conversions after retirement smart? In many cases, absolutely. But they need to be done with intention, with a strategy, and with the long game in mind. There are serious tax implications to making this move, so it's absolutely vital to understand Roth conversions fully, model out the impacts, and consult with a tax professional and financial advisor about these. So if you want help modeling the numbers, stress testing different conversion scenarios, and understanding how this fits into your overall retirement income plan, you can always feel free to visit us at greenarrowfinancial.com or reach out to me anytime directly. I'm always happy to help if I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.